Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Twister, and today I'm bringing you another GTA Online video. And in this video I'm going to be discussing some of the changes that we've seen to GTA Online with the past couple of updates, and how I believe that GTA is finally becoming a next-gen game. So before we get into this regular commentary, I guess, just got some footage from the new game mode called Offense Defense, which is a lot of fun, and it gets pretty interesting towards the end, so that's something to watch in the background. But yeah, the last few updates, I believe, have been some of the biggest changes that we have seen to GTA Online, and it's some of the reason why I think that GTA 5 is finally becoming a proper next-gen game. Now, you might be wondering, hang on, GTA 5 has been out on next-gen for almost a year now, and you might be wondering, hang on, how is it not already a next-gen game? So, before we get to that, we better kind of explore the reasoning of what makes a next-gen game. So, a next-gen game is basically where the gameplay mechanics and components that come together to create the full experience, they cannot be possible on the old-gen consoles. That's what makes it a next-gen experience, a next-gen game, because it's only technically possible on the current or newest technology available. So let's rewind to when GTA came out on next-gen. The overall experience of the game was too similar to what you could get on the previous gen consoles anyway. When I say previous gen, I'm talking about Xbox 360 and PS3, and when I say next gen or current gen, I'm referring to Xbox One and PS4. So when it came out on Xbox One and PS4, there weren't many massive difference to contribute to the actual gameplay experience that made it next gen. The only differences really were the first person and the 30 players. So the first person, you could argue it contributed to it being a next-gen experience, but it's not really contributing to the experience. It's just, changing the perspective of which you play the game. And I think the one thing that kind of is heading towards next-gen experience is the 30 players, because that kind of changed, how you could basically play the game. Obviously, more players, something that's just technically not possible on the previous gen. And I think that is kind of all we saw up until fast forward to the Rockstar editor. That was the next big thing that came to GTA Online that wasn't possible on the previous gen consoles. So it's not until now that we're starting to get these things that are finally making the game next gen, because we've always had the DLC packs and the updates throughout the past year that have been available on previous gen and what is now current gen. So you gotta be thinking to yourself, while they're still developing these updates for previous gen, how is it a next gen experience if you can get the same experience from it playing on the old consoles? And like I was saying, it's not until now, in the past two updates, where we're actually getting content, actual gameplay content, that is only available on the next gen of consoles, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, that it's actually creating an experience that you cannot get on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So when I say that, I'm talking about the first big one was the free mode DLC. That is when Rockstar pretty much announced that they weren't going to be able to make any more content and updates and DLC for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So that is when the gameplay from the free mode DLC, it impacts how you play the game, and you cannot play it that same way on the old gen consoles because the gameplay mechanics are just simply not there. So from the future now, we're not going to be seeing really any more content updates to the old gen. It's just going to be focusing on the Xbox One, the PS4 and the PC. And some people will argue that that's unfair on people that have Xbox 360 and PS3. It's unfair on people that can't afford to upgrade to the current gen hardware. But I think Rockstar knows what benefits them. They created the updates, the DLC for old gen for as long as they needed to, and now they've made the decision to focus on new gen or current gen. I should really just keep calling it current gen because that's what it is now. They are the current gen consoles, and the people that are playing on the old gen are getting left behind. And obviously Rockstar will have known that, but Rockstar can keep on creating the content as long as it's, obviously funding the content that it's making through shark cards. So Rockstar can analyze this. They can say, alright, we're getting to a point now where the shark cards that are being purchased on the old gen are just not comparable to what is being purchased on new gen. So they just focus on that, and it basically funds the content that we will now see in the future for the Xbox One, the PS4 and the PC. So those are just some of my thoughts on why I believe that GTA is finally becoming a next-gen game. And I think it's positive for the game in general that they're dropping the content available for the old-gen Xbox 360 and PS3, because it means we'll be getting better content and actual updates, you know, gameplay additions that, you know, you just can't see on the old gen. Because at the end of the day, Xbox 360 and PS3, it's 10-year-old hardware, and it's just, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to be developing for those games. And I think a lot of other games that are currently, you know, in development and that are currently out now, I mean, Black Ops 3 is coming out, Destiny is already out, and those are some games that are either currently developing for the old gen or are going to be developing for the old gen. So I think hopefully as we get more and more into the future, I think developers will start to realise that the focus has to be on current gen and not old gen. So that's just my opinion. It's completely discussion, completely opinion. So I want you to let me know your guys' opinion in the comments below, and yeah, just create a bit of a discussion on it. So those are just some of my thoughts. The updates that we'll see in the future, I think, are just going to be more of the same. The fact that we're going to see brand new stuff into the game, which will just benefit the game in general. More in-depth stuff rather than just, you know, the new cars that we saw before, the new cars and the new clothes. Like proper stuff you can actually do in game. Like the fact that the Lowriders DLC, it brought so much more new content and what you could actually do in the game. It just goes to show that the fact that dropping old gen content is benefiting new gen content in a way that it's just not possible to bring it out on both. So there we go, there's my opinion. I'll wrap it up there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave it a like rating, and if you are new to the channel and you want to keep up to date with my videos in the future, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in my next video. See you later, guys.